Even if you buy the perfect home, if it's in the wrong town, it may never actually feel like home. Loving where you live is much more deeper than just the house itself. It's about the commute to work, the commute to church, the neighborhood, the weekends, the nightlife, the life that you're going to live every day. So before you fall in love with the house, let's make sure that it is in the best place for you to call home. Hi, I'm Deonte LaBorde, a local real estate agent here in New York. I primarily help people buy and sell and relocate throughout Westchester. If you're ever thinking about moving into this area of Westchester, then this exact video is going to help you avoid making one of the biggest mistakes I see buyers make all the time, even before they ever purchase a home. In this video, I'm going to give you 8 things that you need to consider before you even start house hunting, so you can choose not just the right house, but the right home. But before we get into that, make sure to hit the subscribe button, like, share your thoughts, but also share this video to a friend or family member who maybe is considering moving to Westchester. Also, down in the description, you're going to see my very own Westchester relocation guide for this year, 2026. At the time of this recording, we're more than halfway through the year, and that means we've collected so much data throughout the year. So my relocation guide is data-driven. There's no bias. It's a very important guide that you could read. And if you have any questions, or if you are impressed to even take a look at some of the towns and some great areas in Westchester, I'd be happy to help. All right, let's talk about this. So let's start with the first question, and honestly, it's the most important question. Why are you moving to Westchester? Why are you moving? Period. Well, not period, question mark. If you don't know why you're moving, it's almost impossible to know where to move to. Like, what are you looking for? Are you looking for more space? Are you looking for better schools? Is it an easier commute? Is it a quieter neighborhood? Like, do you want a big backyard for the kids, for the dog? Or you're ready for a different lifestyle? And the reason I start with this question is because everyone is different. That means everyone prioritizes different things. Everyone's values are different, and everyone is in a different phase of their life. So there isn't one perfect town, but there's a town that's perfect for you. And once you answer that question, then all the other 7 questions, those are much easier to answer. Okay, once you know why you're trying to move, the next step is now to figure out where you want to move to. And this is where a lot of buyers make mistakes. First thing they're going to do is now they're going to onto Zillow, they're going to go on the internet, or they're going to check out social media, whether it be Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Shout out to those who are still using Facebook, all right? It's underrated for sure. But they start looking for houses instead of like more communities. And Westchester isn't just one market. Westchester has just shy of 50 different municipalities, right? Spanning from villages to towns. Specifically, we have 48 of them, and they are all unique. Some of those communities are more walkable. Some of those have vibrant downtown vibes. Then you got local restaurants, and some are very accessible with public transportation, like your buses and your trains. Shout out to the Metro North, all right? Some communities focus on high-rise condos and co-ops, and some offer more space, backyard space, patio, deck, pool, trees, privacy, space that you can recall and claim as your own. So even though a good question is what town in Westchester I want to live in, a better question is really which community in Westchester can help aid me or help me attain the life that I want to build. The better question, if you can reframe it, is which community fits the life that I want to build? And the best example of this is the classic SpongeBob episode where Squidward was like, hey, I'm moving from Bikini Bottom. And he went to the gated community for like heaven on earth. We know that episode. So the best city or the best town in Westchester is not the one that everyone talks about, but it's the one that makes you feel like home. And once you figure it out, which community that's going to be, then you move on to the next step. Now it's actually time to figure out what is my actual budget. So now that you've identified the communities that you want to live in, that could fit your lifestyle, the next question is, what can I afford? Actually, even before that is, what's my budget? What your budget is can now dictate, hey, what can you afford? So what's your real budget? And I'm not saying, hey, what's the purchase price of the home? Hey, can I afford to buy this house? No, that is not how we do our budgets, right? You have to go deeper than that. The most important thing is asking, hey, can I afford the lifestyle that I want in this community? Can I afford the property tax? Can I afford the HOA? Can I afford the maintenance fees if it's not a condo, if it's a co-op? Can I afford the homeowner's insurance? and utilities. Two homes could have the very same price, but depending on the community, those other fees can make a house way more unaffordable. And that is why we have to look at the final picture before making any decision. And the reason why you can go on TikTok and see so many people having buyer's remorse is because they allowed for real estate agents, for lenders to convince them that, hey, some of these payments are justified. When I help my clients, I want them to be just as confident making monthly payments as they were when they received the keys come closing day. The home that you own shouldn't limit your lifestyle. It should complement it. It should support it. And a very powerful and expensive cost that we actually don't put into consideration most of the time is the cost of time. Commute. How much time do you want to be spending on the road to go to and from your quote unquote dream home or the place that you want to call home? Time is your most valuable resource. It's priceless. So just as much as we talk about property tax, HOA, maintenance, utilities, homeowners insurance, how we spend our time, how much time we spend on the road, commuting can really dictate where you want to live or where you probably should live. So the big question is, what's your time worth? So when people usually start looking for a home, they usually ask a couple of questions like, how far is it from work? How far is it from church? How far is this home from my parents, from my extended family? But I think the better question to ask is, hey, what am I willing to trade off? Because every home has a trade-off. There is never really a perfect house. Just like there aren't perfect people. Like, isn't a perfect partner, but there's a partner perfect for you. Because you're gonna have to do some trade-offs. You have to compromise one way or the other. Like a shorter commute may result in a smaller home, and a longer commute may give you access to more land, more privacy, peace at the end of the day. Living close to a train station can give you valuable time back at the end of your day. Or living far out from the train station can give you a different pace of life. You want things to be a little slower. None of those options are wrong, but what's most important is what matters to you. So here's something that I encourage anyone who's buying to consider. There's a difference between a 20-minute commute compared to a 60-minute commute. Sure, mathematically, the difference is only 40 minutes, but over the course of months and years, that's hours and hours and hours that you're sacrificing in just commute. You could be using that time spending with your family, working out, working on a business, self-care, spending time with friends, or just enjoying home on a regular day. And here in Westchester, that's very important because every community offers a different balance between space, convenience, and accessibility. Some buyers prioritize being close to the Metro North so that they can get into Manhattan or New York City. And others are willing to live further out because they value privacy much more. So again, it all comes down to what lifestyle do you want to live? So every home comes at a price. And sometimes that price isn't about money. Sometimes that price is about time. All right, so you've considered your lifestyle, your budget, and your commute. There's another factor that can affect your decision. Like, what role does the school district play in your home's value in the future? Now, when many people hear about school districts, the first thing that comes to their mind is, well, I don't have any kids, so what does that have to do with me? When you're buying a house, you're not just buying the house, you're buying into the community. And the reputation of that community influences the resale value and the types of buyers that will be interested in the future if you ever do plan on selling. So of course, strong school districts will always incite some sort of strong demand. They also influence the perception of the entire community. A community known for a good school district or a strong school district usually reflects the qualities of the people within the community. That means that, hey, people in the community are willing to invest into community, whether that be community outreach, events, programs, things that will unify the community together. And the third thing, a strong school district can really affect your flexibility in the future. You may not have children right now, but life happens. Things change, priorities can change, your family situation can change. So because a community may have a long-term demand because of a strong school district, that opens you up for different options and different possibilities. That does not mean now that you just move to the highest rated school district. No one's saying that. Remember, it's not about what's the best out there. It's about what's best for you because you're really choosing a community that will support your future. So if you're at this point, that means you've discovered where you want to live, which is great. Now, when you know now where you want to live, the next question you got to ask yourself is what type of home fits the life that you want to live? One of the biggest mistakes I see is that buyers only look at square footage. I want a big house, 2,000 square feet, 2,500 square feet, 3,000 square feet. I want a big yard, which is great. But do you want the responsibility of tending to said big yard? Do you want the responsibility of having to maintain 2,000, 3,000 square feet of space? Like, would you rather be outside enjoying Westchester, or would you rather be mowing the lawn? Then with a condo or a co-op, benefit your lifestyle, or with the privacy and freedom of having a single family home better suits you and your family? Or would you prefer the best of both worlds with a townhouse? Remember, your home is an asset and it's a great goal to achieve. So the best house isn't always the biggest house, but it's the house that you can actually maintain and comfortably live in. So if you're physically challenged or you work a lot, do you really have time to be worrying about a roof? Or do you have time to worry about your front lawn or the back lawn, mowing it every month? Or would you prefer to live in a condo? You want to downsize and go someplace smaller. I was thinking about stairs. Do you want stairs? Or you just want like a ranch style? So you don't have to worry about climbing upstairs, going downstairs. Maybe worrying about your older parents, or if you're physically disabled or physically challenged people. So once again, this is beyond the number of bedrooms, the number of bathrooms. This is about storage. Do you need a garage? All right. Do you need a den? Do you need an attic? Okay. What type of home will fit all of your needs or most of your needs? And which type would you have to compromise the least? All right. So once you know what type of home you want to live in and you know what your real budget is, now we can answer the next question. What does your budget actually buy in today's market? Now remember, of course, buyers determine the house's value in the market, but it's not just that house alone that determines whether or not this house is actually valuable and valued at that price. Remember, it's also the neighborhood. It's the type of property, it's the size of the lot, it's the HOA, the standard that they set. And you're gonna have options, but we have to do our best to narrow them down as best as possible. Remember, buying a home is a long-term play. So sure, we want to time the market, but there isn't relatively a best time too. You just have to do the best that you can in the current situation that you're in. So what can I comfortably afford in today's market? Sure, you may be able to afford something better in a market 5 years from now, 10 years from now. And when that time comes, yeah, you can definitely adjust. But we don't want to look back on, oh, well, I could afford this back in 2020 or 2021 when the rates and the prices were stupid. They're ridiculous. Right? That's not the time we live in right now. The market is slowly correcting itself. So at that point, we have to do our best with what we know and make sure that we're making the best financial decision for our families and for your life at the current point in time. So there's one final piece that brings everything that I've discussed today together. So at this point, you have the budget, you've thought about your goals, you thought about your commute, you thought about school districts, what type of home would fit your normal or preferred lifestyle, and what your money can actually afford in today's market. So if you've checked all those boxes, if you've done everything on that list in that order, then there's one final question. Do you have the right guy that's helping you through the process? I know nowadays today, people go on Zillow, they look at what's online, they say, I want to see this home, book an appointment, see some random agent, roll the dice, which is why I've also joined Zillow and I'm a Zillow Pro agent. So I can best get in front of you guys as much as possible if you hop on Zillow. So I can serve as many people as I can, helping them, whether it be to move into Westchester or relocate, or maybe even just navigate New York City. So my job isn't simply just to unlock doors and like HGTV, show you cabinets and show you bedrooms and bathrooms and views. My job is to best understand you, who you are, what are your goals, your family's goals as well, because real estate is just one piece of the pie. There are so many motivations as to why people move, whether it be for family, whether it be for peace, whether it be for financial security. It could be a job opportunity somewhere, or you want to experience a different part of life. And with one of the most stressful things in life, which is buying a home, I want to help you guys with probably one of the most stressful things in life. And if you have questions or comments, or you want to chat a little bit about it, feel free to do so in the comments. And my information is in the description, so you can always shoot me a text, send me email, hit me up on social media. We could chat a little bit more. But there you have it. I gave you the 8 questions that you need to ask yourself, that you need to inquire before you start the home buying process. It's great weather here right now. This Sunday, I'm at BJ's about to buy some stuff, have this nice barbecue, enjoy with some friends and family. But I know that real estate is a very stressful thing. We want to make the best decisions for ourselves and our families, but don't forget to enjoy the moment, enjoy the present, live a little, keep your feet up, and make some memories. Hopefully, if you need help buying or selling or relocating in New York, Westchester, Long Island even. I'll even travel out to Long Island. I don't care. That's how much I'll help people. Be sure to follow the channel. Make sure you subscribe. If you have any questions or comments on these 8 questions I gave you guys to ask yourselves, feel free to put it in the comments below. Take care of yourself and take care of each other. All right? Later.